to my channel, Masak with me. Masak means cook in my Malaysian language. Today we're preparing pho, and the ingredients will be... There's a different way of how everybody makes their pho, but my way of making it is I learned from a friend to roast your onion even with the skin on. So first, we will roast the onion. And I have already the water boiling to get ready for the beef. But we want to boil these ingredients. So I'll roast the onion that's on a skewer, and then we'll roast the, let me turn down the fire a little bit, there. Roast it all the way. And it gets juicy in the center. Nice day today, guys. And guys, I have this mesh bag, and it's safe for cooking up to 450 degrees. You can find this in H-E-B, maybe $2 or so. It comes like in a packet of 3 or 4. And I like to use this to put the roasted onion. And this is what the roasted onion looks. The outside that was already charred, and so that's why I wasn't worried about the skin needing to peel the onion, because it roasts everything on the outside, and it's soft on the outside and juicy on the inside. So after roasting this, we'll set it aside, and then now we're gonna roast the garlic. And remember, last time I used the elephant garlic also, which is, it's a big clove, and you only need just one. And I will roast this also. Put it on there, on the fire. On the outer shell, it'll burn it. But basically we want flavor. Roasted garlic, roasted onion. Well guys, the garlic is roasting beautifully, and the outer shell just burns off its own. But this is how we want the garlic to roast. Nice dark charred on the outside, and that's the flavor you want, is the roasted flavor into your soup, into your pho. Just a little bit more here, and we're ready. Now the ingredients that goes in pho are star anise, cinnamon sticks, clove, fennel, coriander seeds, fructus amomi, and the amomum castatum, so which is the, looks like a seed. It's cardamom basically. And you'll find a bag like this in your local, or if you have an Asian mart nearby. It's basically this whole ingredient. It says for pho, to make Vietnamese soup, noodle soup, and this is the cardamom. So, but they might sell it individually in little jars in H-E-B, and but if not, then you'll have to find something that has a bag like this. Actually, if you do not have your local Asian mart nearby, Amazon will have these ingredients, and just buy 2-3 bags or so that next time if you want some, you don't have to keep ordering from Amazon. You'll have it ready. So for right now, the first thing we do, we have our water boil really well. And we put our ingredients like the onion in the bag. The reason why we want to put it in the bag is because once you boil the beef, these ingredients right here will come out of the bag, and then you want to chop it, slice it up, you can, or you can leave it in the bag and take it out, because the flavor will already be boiling in here with the beef. But you won't have all those excessive ingredients will be in the water, so when you, in your soup, so when you have your meal, it's not everywhere, basically. It's just, everyone puts it in the bag normally when they make their soup, and that's where I get it from. And this is also the ingredient, all of it comes in this bag. So you just put it all in one, tie it really tight so nothing will come out of there. And you let it boil. So you're giving your water the flavor of the pho. Let it boil for about maybe 30 minutes. And then you're ready to put your beef. And your beef needs to boil for maybe an hour or an hour and a half for it to till tender. Well guys, we have half a pound of beef chuck roast. I like chuck roast because they're a little marbled with fat. I'm just going to cut this in half. And what we want to do, since we're having pho soup, I like it to be more thinly sliced, okay? And we go against the grain. Like that. Oops, let me... See, that's how thin I like to cut it. And that's why it's probably not going to take very long to cook. I would say maybe an hour, as much beef we have here. Well friends, let's check on the spiced boiling water. And the spice will turn the color of your broth. I can see the water has evaporated a little bit. What I normally do is I add more gradually. To where you'd like it to be, depending on how many people you're feeding. And so, and then next is, we'll wait for it to boil a little bit more after adding the water, and it's ready to put the beef in. Alright guys, it's never too late if you forget an ingredient to put it in as soon as you remember it. So one more ingredient was ginger. What I did was I peeled it off with the back of my spoon, with a spoon or the back of your knife, that's fine. And then I'm just gonna lightly bruise it, basically. That's how I'm gonna do it. Lightly bruise it like that, and just throw it in the boiling water. Because you're gonna, once we're ready, we're gonna take it all out later. It's time for us to put the beef in. And this should take about roughly an hour to cook. It's only half a pound of beef, so depending on how much you cook, till it's really tender. You can smell the aroma and the spices that's been boiling in here with the charred onions and garlic. Now time to season after you put the beef in. I like to add the beef, it's like beef bouillon, beef seasoning, 1 tablespoon. And that. And my special ingredient also is the salty mushroom soy sauce. I would say 1 tablespoon of that. and the ABC sweet soy sauce. Just 1 tablespoon. And that's the ABC soy sauce. It'll give it that sweet and salty. It'll balance off. And stir it. Let's give it a stir. Now bring it to a boil for about an hour, an hour and a half. Come on over, guys. I want to show you something. Lime is also an ingredient that is a garnish you squeeze in your soup later on. Gives it that nice salty, sour soup, beefy broth in your pho. And this is our lime tree, and it looks like I have a few that I can harvest here, and that I'll use for our garnish later. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the beef to boil, I have some garnishes that goes with your pho. So you want chives or green onions. You have your cilantro or a coriander, and then you have your chilies. You can either have the jalapeno or you can have the Thai chili, and this is serrano pepper. And of course you saw the ginger earlier. This is one of my favorite vegetable, bean sprout, and I soaked it in cold water so that it'll be nice and fresh. And you can find the bean sprout in H-E-B. All these ingredients you can find at H-E-B, and this is the bag that came in, and I thought I'd save it so you can see. And this is the brand I got from H-E-B as well. The rice sticks vermicelli, and so it's rice noodles. Soaking them for maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and to be ready before you boil them in hot water to soften them up. So you soak them to soften them up. Well, friends, one more thing to harvest is our basil, Thai basil leaves. And I happen to have a pot here. We only want just this part when we garnish our soup. Of course, since we just harvest them, we do need to rinse them off really good. We rinse off all our vegetables. Let's check on the beef, guys. See if it's tender enough. I do want to taste the soup first. See if I have enough seasoning. Very good, but I would like to put a little bit more, because as I add the water, because it evaporates a little bit, kind of takes away from this beefy flavor. So we want to add another tablespoon. And some salt. Stir that up a little. Yes, beef is done and nice and tender. And this is the process where we take the bag out. As you can see, it's been saturated and all the flavor in it. And since we have been soaking our noodles, alright, since we soaked this rice noodle, it's ready to boil for 10 seconds. So I like to take some, just like that. Just a handful will be plenty. Put it in the boiling water for 10 seconds. Alright, that should be good. And we'll get our beef. Looks nice and tender. And here to our garnish, we'll get our bean sprout. Just like that. Put our cilantro, our chives, our Thai chili. And here comes our basil, Thai basil. Just a few of the leaves. And the lime with the two. Get our broth over it. There you go. Well, as we're ready. Alright guys, let's give this a try. So good. You should give this a try at home, guys. It's so delicious, so brothy, salty, sweet, and the sourness from the lime is just perfect. And guys, if you like what you see today, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and share. Until next time. Bye guys.